Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 11 starts now.
Tonight, another case of alleged public corruption in Macomb County. This time, it's in Frazier. After an exhaustive Michigan State Police investigation, the Macomb County Prosecutor's Office is charging a former department head at the city of Frazier with embezzlement. Thanks for being with us, everybody. I'm Kimberly Gill.
I'm Devon Skillian. Let's get to Mara McDonald off the top here at 11 in Frazier. Investigators, Mara, believe they've been talking. We're talking well over $100,000 here, correct?
Devon, they sure are. And here's the thing. It's all on a city credit card. And the allegations of this, the rumors of misappropriation of funds, they really started kicking up back in 2020. Michelle Kwiatkowski served as the head of IT for the city of Frazier from 2016 to 2020, but had been with the city for years before that department head promotion. When she left in 2020, there were questions about numerous charges to the city's credit card. Frazier police turned the investigation over to the Michigan State Police. MSP handed its findings over to the Macomb County Prosecutor's Office.
The state police did a wonderful job in documenting those things that they had regarding the purchases that were made. And as such, although presumed innocent, there was a lot of purchases that didn't go to the taxpayers of the city of Frazier.
Easily over $100,000. Kwiatkowski was instrumental, along with two other Frazier employees, in getting then-Mayor Joe Nichols thrown out of office back in 2017, alleging sexual harassment. Now, Nichols has always maintained he went to the feds back in 2016 about Kwiatkowski's money management. The alleged embezzlement is said to have occurred under former Frazier city manager Wayne O'Neill. Tonight, the former mayor telling me he feels partially vindicated. Quote, "I now understand why council and staff were so adamantly against the forensic audit suggested by my former councilwoman and friend Yvette Foster. Word to the wise, forensic audit and audit the drug forfeiture accounts." Lucido says the paper trail in this case is immense.
I don't care what position they're in, nor of what leadership role they play. They all are going to be treated the same way, fairly, openly, and honestly.
Back here live, the Macomb County prosecutor says he is uninterested in a plea deal in this case. What he is interested in? Restitution for Frazier taxpayers. We're live in Frazier tonight. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
Taxpayers want to hear that, no doubt. All right, Mara. Tonight, an 18-year-old is locked up after a purse snatching in Ann Arbor, and it is what police found on him later that has him in even more trouble.
Yeah, police say the teen snatched a woman's purse in downtown Ann Arbor and used her credit cards at several businesses. Officers caught up to him on a city bus where he still had the woman's purse on him.
They also found this in his bag, an unregistered handgun with an extended magazine. Police arrested him on the bus. He is now charged with a number of felonies.
New at 11, Detroit police looking for a person of interest in a triple shooting that left one person dead. It happened last Tuesday on Louder Street near Plymouth on the city's west side. Police say a 21-year-old man was killed and a 30-year-old man and 22-year-old woman were hurt. All three victims were found inside a car. Police say the suspect got away in a black Dodge Charger. If you have any information, call Crime Stoppers at numbers 1-800-SPEAK-UP.
Meanwhile, a teenager is recovering tonight after a shooting in Detroit. It happened this afternoon on Canton Street near Gratiot on the city's east side. Investigators say the boy was shot by someone inside a car outside his home. It is expected he's going to survive it, but officers continue their search tonight for the shooter.
A $1,000 reward is being offered for tips in the murder of a beloved Detroit neurosurgeon. Dr. Devon Hoover was shot and found wrapped in plastic in the attic of his home in the Boston Edison district on April 23rd. 5 days later, a person of interest was taken into custody. He was later released. Anyone with information can anonymously submit a tip to police. We posted the information on how to do that on clickondetroit.com.
A Macomb County mother pleads no contest in her one-year-old daughter's overdose. Prosecutors say 32-year-old Anita Vasquez was driving in Roseville last July when she flagged down police because her child was having a medical emergency. It was later determined the child had ingested heroin from his mother's purse, and the child did survive the incident, but it led to these charges. Vasquez charged with drug and child abuse charges, and sentencing now set for next month.
Happening tomorrow, the two people charged in the death of a Greektown security guard will face a judge. 33-year-old Travis Irving faces murder and weapons charges. 34-year-old Nicole Christian is charged as an accessory. Daryl Straughter was shot to death last month outside Athens liquor store in Greektown. Police say the 48-year-old was trying to break up a fight involving someone cutting in line when he was shot. Tomorrow's preliminary exam will decide if there's enough evidence for a trial.
Big show of support today in Dearborn Heights for a story we told you last night was going to take shape. Dozens of high school students walked out of class in protest over the suspension of their principal. Annapolis High students say they walked out because no one is explaining why Aaron Mollett was suspended. The suspension, though, comes as students are dealing with the death of a student. There has not been more information released on that case. But today, some parents were there to join in the dozens of students in their walkout.
It's important to me, for real, because Mollett been with me since 8th grade, for real, you feel me? And he's been nice to me, he respected me, he chilled with me, he just cool all around.
If I could ask any question, it would be why. Just please answer us why, because we want our principal back. He's amazing, amazing guy, and this just breaks my heart.
Administrators did not come out to speak to the students during the walkout, but the district says it does respect their right to protest.
We have an update to a story we first brought you Sunday night. A TSA agent is suspended after a viral video captures him aggressively pulling a K-9 officer's leash. The video from Detroit Metro Airport was posted to social media over the weekend. We're told the dog works with TSA agents as part of its explosive detection team. TSA says the agent will remain suspended while the agency does a full investigation. A major loss in court for former President Donald Trump. A
Manhattan federal jury found the former president sexually abused E. Jean Carroll in a department store dressing room back in the 1990s and subsequently then defamed her. Carroll alleged Mr. Trump sexually assaulted her in 1996 and later then defamed her when he denied her claims. The jury found his conduct was sexual abuse and that was sufficient to hold him liable for her civil battery claim, even though the jury found she did not prove that his assault met the threshold of a rape charge. The jury recommending Donald Trump pay Carroll $5 million. Donald Trump's attorney is saying that they will appeal the verdict. President Biden and top congressional leaders are meeting at the White House looking for an end to the stalemate over raising the nation's debt ceiling to avoid economic catastrophe, and that could come as soon as June 1st.
It's the first discussion of substance on the issue in months between President Biden and House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, and both leaders are refusing to budge. Alice Barr in Washington with the details.
Sure.
A high-stakes, high-risk showdown today at the White House as political heavyweights square off over the debt ceiling.
I didn't see any new movement.
The top four congressional leaders emerging from an hour-long White House meeting with President Biden, failing to break a stalemate but promising to meet again on Friday.
In the meantime, our staffs are going to meet today and daily between now and then, and everyone in the meeting understood the risk of default.
Despite a chasm between the two sides, the top Republican in the Senate definitive.
The United States of America is not going to default.
Democrats anxious to move forward.
We explicitly asked Speaker McCarthy would he take default off the table. He refused.
I've done everything in my power to make sure it will not default.
House Republicans already passed a bill that tackles the debt ceiling alongside massive spending cuts. President Biden insists any budget negotiations must be separate because failing to raise the debt limit means that as early as June 1st, the nation would start running out of money to pay its bills, including things like Social Security and veterans benefits. The Treasury Secretary calling that historic default scenario.
Really an economic catastrophe.
It would send shockwaves through the stock market, American savings, and even unemployment, adding to the tension, the consequences for both President Biden and House Speaker McCarthy. The president needs a strong economy to power his re-election bid, while the speaker is at risk of losing his gavel if he can't deliver on the spending cuts conservatives want.
The discussions here today, most likely an opening bid as we move closer to that June 1st deadline. So often the Washington way requires the cliff to be right in front of you before a solution appears. From the White House, Alice Barr, NBC News.